Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for checking in and thank you for all the new people watching. I actually made this hair topper myself. A hair topper is not a full wig. It's something that basically can be all different sizes, but it generally, there's different applications, but I like the ones that snap in. If you have a little bit of hair, depending on what size, this one actually goes, I'm gonna take this off. Are you ready? Wait till you see. I made this. I'm pretty impressed. This was my very first one that I made. Don't laugh because I'm not a great sewer or seamstress or whatever. So I actually had so many combs in there. I'm sure you want to make one of these now. But if you can see, look how nice that hair is really, for human hair, that's a good looking. I was pretty pleased with it. Cap construction. This is lace inside. I actually used, see all that glue in there? It doesn't matter because it actually gives it some structure to it. Check that out. I'm pretty impressed with that. See my finger there? That's all for parting space. Not too shabby. Better than this. And here are just a few things that you'll need. T-pins for securing your topper down or your wig at times. Big help. Pressure sensitive combs. Those attach on the underside of the topper that we make. And this is just another view of that pressure sensitive clip, just to let you know where to sew. It definitely helps. And here is just basic alligator clips. These are used to hold the hair up. I find these helpful whenever I'm working, so I'm just showing you those. Any kind will work. Then here we have the bonding glue. This is the glue that I use to glue the tracks on. Usually apply a little bit of heat from a heat dryer. Don't over apply the glue. That's the main thing. It tends to get sloppy and sticky. You don't want it to mess it up. So this is what I use. Tends to work good and it stays pretty well. These are if you choose to sew in your frontal or any part of your topper. You want to use one of those. You can use either a straight one or a curved one. Curved ones tend to work well. You can get them at any beauty supply store. So that's that. And the next thing, I'm just showing you the hair that I bought. Any kind of human hair. This one's pretty good because it looks like the cuticle is live, I guess, or intact. So that definitely helps. Awesome straight hair. I spent about $30-some each bundle, and I used 2 bundles for this. So hopefully that will help you in guesstimating. Here is a look at my topper. This is actually the frontal part that makes the scalp look real towards the top. I sew this perimeter around by chalking it out where I want my part, and that's how I position it. This part I do sew. This part I can't really skimp on that technique. Here's a closer look of the frontal. That is basically just all the things that I got at my beauty supply. Here is a look outside of the box of that frontal again, and that will show, I'm just trying to show you the scalp part and the length, going through that. And here's another view of the tag Vivica Fox lace part. You can tweeze these in the center however you want to customize it yourself. I tweezed a little bit out of the part, not taking too much out. I don't want to get too carried away. You can't put it back. And then I'm just going through, taking out. This is actually a cheaply made one. I'm not real happy with this one. I like to get ones that don't really have that. You can still see a little bit of like a track, however they did that. I don't know. For the price that I paid for this, it was like 42 bucks. I don't like it. I can get them much cheaper and a better quality. So I'm going to have to make a note of that. I got that at my beauty supply. The part looks good. It's just that it's very skimpy and thin. Here I'm just showing you on the lace front where you would be cutting the lace, being careful not to cut any of the hairs there because it will ruin it. It's hard to get it back, so being careful, you know, just to cut the edges. You don't want to do that now. You want to do that once you attach it and you fit it to your size, see what you need to take off and what, if any, if you're going to glue anything down or, you know, whatnot, secure it in some way. Here is me just drawing on where my part is going to go. I figured out where on my head versus the hair on, not the hair, the cap alone. I believe this is just a stocking cap, and you can buy those at a beauty supply. I'm making sure that it's pulled down far because it does help with the lace front. You want to make sure you stretch it. I am lining up this frontal so that it's not crooked, it's not laying wrong, it's not bulky, anything like that. So everyone does this different. I've seen people do it at the end. I've seen people do it ahead of time. My first one, I didn't want to mess it up. I wanted to know when to stop with the wefts in the back that I was gluing. So this is what I did, and it worked. I did actually 2 of these so far. The first one, I didn't even really want to consider. That was my, very first one. I figured it was trial and error. It turned out pretty good. So here we go. We're just gonna start gluing. If you didn't notice, I'm sizing up the wefts. You can do this a number of ways. I can show you some different ways too, where you do the fold over method. You just keep going back and forth without cutting each track. So this human hair was awesome. You can color, you can do anything you can to your own hair. However, you got to be careful, and you want to use some minimal glue on here. When I usually lay my first track down with the glue, I will start about 2 inches above the in the back, maybe about 1.5 inches or so on the sides, because it is a topper. It's not a full wig. You're not going to have the full coverage. However, you can control what you want. You can cut off what you want, what you don't want. It seems to work good that way. This will show you an example. I'm by far perfect, but you're gonna see on the edge of here, when I go to lift this up, there's some hair on the side of the weft. I actually overextended a little too far. See that right there? I'm gonna cut that off. That is only gonna create a nuisance to you, and I just snip it right off. No big deal, comes right off. And there's my frontal. Again, I'm not crazy about this one. Now this is underneath at the nape of the neck. I left some exposed. I didn't start right at the bottom with the hair. I started about, if I had to guess, about 2.5 inches up. Again, because it's just a topper. It's not a full wig, but if you need more coverage, you can surely go lower. However, I don't like that stretchy fit around my head. I prefer the clips, the pressure sensitive clips. And you just go around and cut that, and you should be good. Alright, so once the glue dries, the only thing you want to do basically is just wait till it thoroughly dries and take it off the wig cap. And with that tape underneath, it's going to allow it not really to stick or pull that styrofoam off. I was showing some minimal shedding on there. That's only because I went around and cut the perimeter. Sometimes you can't miss a few hairs, so it's gonna look like it's shedding, but it's really not. It's just me where I cut into some hair there. And that's basically it. So I hope you like and subscribe. I'm going to make some more videos like this if I can save you money. Thank you. Love, peace, and happiness. Woohoo!